Welcome to the first episode of Devon Things. This week's thing is all these 20-year-olds who are writing blogs for national publications like Time Magazine and Cosmopolitan way before they're ready. People like Tal Fortgang, who published an article about a year ago titled "Why I'll Never Apologize for My White Male Privilege." He writes, "There is a phrase that floats around college campuses, Princeton being no exception, that threatens to strike down opinions without regard for their merits. Check your privilege. The phrase aims laser-like at my pinkish peach complexion, my maleness, and the nerve I displayed in offering an opinion rooted in a personal Weltanschauung." God, that must have sounded so good on paper, Tal. You used the word Weltanschauung, which is just a really pretentious way of saying philosophy, which is a really pretentious way of saying what you believe. Tal's attack on the idea of white privilege was shared thousands of times, almost entirely for purposes of ridicule, shaming, and mean-spirited poop throwing. So why would Time Magazine publish such a novice, purposefully controversial article? Better question, why would Time Magazine do that twice? The next young blogger fail was also published by Time Magazine. 20-year-old Sierra Manny titled her first published article, "Dear White Gays, Stop Stealing Black Female Culture." Very subtle. She writes, "I need some of you to cut it the hell out." She's referring to those white gays. "I don't care how well you quote Medea, you are not a black woman." Damn! If that sounded like one member of a disenfranchised group kicking another disenfranchised group for no good reason, it's because it was. Unfortunately, it backfired, especially in the white gays community. Turns out most people can understand the anger felt by a 20-year-old coming to terms with racism in our culture, but are not on board with unsubstantiated generalizations against the entire gay community. Now, the number 3 young blogger fail, and the most recent addition to this illustrious list, her name is Felicia Shakinsky, and she wrote an article titled "People Judge Me Because I'm Pretty." These titles. She writes, "Coming to terms with being perceived as beautiful wasn't easy. It soon became how people knew me. People seem to forget or simply ignore the fact that I'm an athlete, I'm intelligent, and I'm incredibly ambitious." Now here's how the internet works. You can either say something ridiculous, be named Felicia. If you do both, you will be hexed with "Bye Felicia" jokes for the rest of your life. Felicia did both. And the comments section quickly devolved into 2 camps. People who believe that Felicia completely lacked perspective because being too pretty is the ultimate first world problem. And then there were people who believed that Felicia wasn't pretty enough to deserve such a lengthy humble brag. I'd say that means it wasn't well received. So what should we think about young writers like Tal, Sierra, Felicia? I don't think it's an accident that Time Magazine and Cosmopolitan are publishing these articles before they're ready. Ideas don't actually have to be good to be on the internet. They just have to generate engagement. Views, likes, comments, shares. The magazines make out like bandits whether the article's good or not. And if it's so not good, they generate even more engagement from all the arguments that start in the comments section and all the friendships that are ruined. All that engagement comes at the expense of a virgin sacrifice. So my message to 20-year-olds with strong, unsubstantiated opinions is try them out in the comments section. Then maybe you move up to a blunt circle. Give those ideas a chance to die a natural death without the entire world showing up to their funeral. And that's all I have to say about this thing. Some of you may be thinking, did this 20-something just write a shitty blog about 20-somethings writing shitty blogs? The answer is yes. And my next shitty blog will either be about concussions, pedophilia, or never taking your own advice. Thanks for watching.